When you open up the staff site of the Summer Reader program, you come to the login page. And on the login page, it requests a password. To get to the Manage Programs area, you can put in any password that you currently have. Any level of login will work. So I'm going to put in my volunteer login password. When Manage Programs opens, you will see that up here next to the word Log Off would be my login level, and I'm at the volunteer level. Other items you may note on the screen is the toolbar. We have Manage Programs, we have About, and then this is where you would obviously log off. By selecting the About, it's going to bring up the information about your Summer Reader program. It'll note the version that you are currently on, the vendor, which is Evanced Solutions, how to contact support, Evanced Solutions website, how to get to our manuals, how to update one of our forums, and then the copyright. If I close out of this box and come over to Manage Programs, that would bring us back to this screen if we had other options up here in the toolbar. But since I'm at the volunteer level, I can't make any system administrative updates. Another item about this that you may not know is that up here you have the Advanced logo. If you click on this logo, it will take you to evancedsolutions.com. Along with the toolbar at the top and the shortcut to evancedsolutions.com, there are two other areas that we are going to talk about today. And that first area is the Search All Programs box. Now, your Search All area programs may look a little different than mine. And the reason is, as the system administrator, I came in and I added some additional fields that I wanted to be able to search on. So instead of just having the last and first name, I'm able to add age, school name, teacher, additional filters for looking for patrons within any of my programs. At the top, if I was looking for a specific patron, I could type in their last name. So by typing in the last name, and maybe I only knew the first letter of their first name, I would put that in and select Go. The search results would bring up anything closest to what I had typed in, and as you can see, I have a patron in one of my programs named Derek Way. If I wanted to be a little more specific, I could choose by age, and it would pull up anybody that met my age requirements. I could do the same for school name and teacher. So by selecting the item in my drop-down for school name and selecting Go, it'll bring up anyone who has registered and has selected Franklin Central as their school name. Now, if I was to clear out all the items in the Search All Programs section and selected Go, this would bring up all of my patrons in all of my programs. And then I could work through the list. Let's come back over to Search All Programs and take a look at the Advanced Search. Advanced Search is another way to get specific information to filter out for specific patrons in our system. So for instance, we have username. If I was looking for a specific user, I could type in the username, and as you can see, it pulls up that patron's name. If I come back over to Advanced Search, you could put in the first name, last name, age, birthday, library card number, custom registration entries, and if I select more, there's additional fields that we could populate. So if I wanted to look for anyone who has the quantity primary of 1 and the max of 5, I could do that by hitting Find. And if any of my patrons met that requirement, they would be pulled up here, as you can see. So our Search All program allows us to search for all of the patrons in our system using our filters that are set up here. Now that we've reviewed how to search for patrons in our program, let's bounce back over to Manage Programs and look at the programs that we currently have set up. I'm going to come up here to the toolbar, select Manage Programs, and once the screen opens, you will notice that down the center of my screen I have a listing of all of the programs in my system. If I was to select one of these programs, such as the Youth Summer Reader, The screen that it would take me to is the Manage Programs screen, but because of my level, my volunteer level, I would be able to register a patron into that program. So if I was to select Register Patron, I would be able to sign up a patron for this particular program. And we'll cover that in just a few moments. Let's go back up to Manage Programs and let's work our way down the columns. So the next item that you see here is the magnifying glass. If I hover over it, the Manage option pops up. If I select that, it will take me exactly to the same place we were just in by selecting the actual program. This is where I would be able to register my patron. Let's go back up to the toolbar, select Manage Programs again. Then we have the registrants. Now, your setup may be a little different than mine. My system administrator has where I could see the statistics for the last 90 days. Yours may be a little different. You may not even have this column whatsoever. So it's all up to the system administrative piece. However, you will have the registrants piece where you can go in and see particular registrants for each program. By hovering over the numbers in the total column, the finger will appear to where you can click inside of the registrants for that program. So as you can see, the 3 registrants for my TinyTop program would appear, and then I can manage my patrons from this point. I'm going to go ahead and select the back button. If I wanted to see who the patrons were in my Young Adults program, I could do the same. I could hover over the 3 next to that program and come in and review the patrons in this program. Going back, let's talk about the other columns in Manage Programs. Now, we have the quantity P and we have the quantity S. Again, this setup is done by my system administrator to have these fields appear on the Manage Programs screen. You can have more columns, you could have less columns than what I currently have. But what you see on my current screen is quantity P, quantity S, which means quantity primary, quantity secondary. And when we set up this lower program, the Youth Summer Reader program, we're giving the patron 2 options to select from to track their Summer Reader program. Now that we've taken a look at the common columns for all level of users that come into Manage Programs, I'm going to switch over to another Manage Programs, but I'm signed in as the staff level. So at the staff level and at the administrative level, we get a few more columns and a few more things that we can do within Manage Programs. If I come over here to Reviews, I will be able to review and work my reviews. So if I hover over the 2 next to the TinyTop program, I would be able to see that there is 1 pending review and 1 accepted. And if I wanted to view those, I would just hover over that column next to that program, and I would go in and make my modifications. Now going back, if I wanted to see the accepted, I can go in and view the accepted review. As you can see, there's a couple of other things that you can do as the staff level or as the administrative level that you can't do at the basic or the volunteer level. I'm going to go back to Manage Programs. Another item or another column that we have here is the Comments column. And again, it's only available for the staff level and for the administrative level. So if I come over here and I select the 0 next to my Tiny Tots, I could see that again it takes me to my Manage Reviews and Comments. And then I can make my modifications as needed. Back over to Manage Programs. I will also have a new icon over here in the second column, and it's the Reviews and Comments check mark. If I click on this, it will take me exactly to the same place as if I hovered over any of those numbers that we just saw. Back under Manage Programs. So depending on what your level is, for your sign-in, you will be able to do multiple things under Manage Programs. This was just a high-level review of the things that you can do. To register a patron or to make modifications to reviews and comments, those are separate recordings that you're more than welcome to listen to.